All right, ready for a deep dive?
Always.
Today, we're going to a hidden oasis. Kind of wild how it came to be.
Ooh,
It's Bath, Jamaica. A whole town sprung up around these healing hot springs.
I've heard of Bath.
But the thing is, it wasn't some, fancy explorer who found them.
Yeah.
It was an enslaved African looking for refuge. We're diving into this Gleaner article from, just this week. Enslaved African inspires Jamaica's first tourist resort and botanical gardens at Bath.
Wow, that's a headline.
It's a wild story, right?
Yeah, it's incredible how one discovery can change everything, a whole town, social scene, even botanical gardens.
Yeah, and it all goes back to nature's power, especially the healing part.
Absolutely.
Okay, so imagine this. It's the late 1600s in Jamaica. Plantation life. Harsh reality for enslaved Africans.
Right. Yeah, we have to acknowledge the suffering they went through. Their stories are so often lost, but their resilience, we'll see with Jacob.
It's key to understanding the whole story.
It really is.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So there's this man, Jacob, on the Stanton estate. He's dealing with awful skin ailments, probably from the brutal conditions.
Right.
Desperate for relief, he escapes into the Sulphur River Gorge.
Wow.
And there, he finds it.
A relief.
Oh, yeah, but in a crazy twist, he finds this pool of hot water coming out of the rocks.
Can you imagine that? Exhausted and in pain and stumbling on this warm water that turns out can heal.
And it does. He keeps soaking, and his sores start to heal.
Wow.
So now Jacob has a choice. Stay hidden or go back to the plantation with this incredible discovery.
What a decision to have to make. What do you think made him go back? Was it hope for better treatment, wanting to help others who were suffering? Maybe a bit of both.
It's powerful, right? To even consider going back after escaping like that.
Yeah.
So Jacob goes back to Colonel Stanton, the plantation owner,
Oh, wow.
and tells him about the springs. Stanton, smart businessman, sees dollar signs.
Right.
In 1699, he sells the land to the government. Big profit, of course.
And that's the start of Bath's transformation, right? The government sees the potential for Europeans who wanted these, remedies and starts developing it into a health resort.
Yeah, they went all in. Hospitals, bathhouses, places to live, everything. A whole town pops up.
Bath became the place to be. For some, anyway. It's wild how economic opportunity was so tied to, exploitation during colonization.
Definitely. We can't forget that context.
No, we can't.
But as Bath grows, it becomes more than just about healing. It's a social hotspot, the place to be seen.
So you've got the suffering of enslaved people on one hand, and on the other, you have the elite enjoying all this leisure and luxury.
What a contrast, right?
Absolutely.
You get this, even Henry Morgan, the pirate, loved Bath.
The pirate, what was he doing there?
You'd think Port Royal would be more his scene, with all the craziness.
Right.
But even he couldn't resist Bath's charm.
It must have been a different kind of escape for them, connecting with nature, maybe finding some peace.
I guess everybody needs that.
Yeah, that connection. Yeah. Even pirates.
So we've got healing, a booming town, a pirate's paradise. But wait, there's more.
Oh.
Bath's story gets even more interesting when we look at its botanical side.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We've covered the healing, the town, even a pirate's love for the place. But Bath's story keeps going. We got to talk about its botanical legacy.
Oh, yeah, the gardens.
Yeah, but it's not just like some random flower patch. This is serious history.
It is. Pretty remarkable, actually. Founded back in 1779, the Bath Botanical Gardens are a landmark.
That old.
Yeah, second oldest botanical garden in the whole Western Hemisphere.
Wow. They were bringing in exotic plants from all over, even back then, just a few decades after the town got started.
Yeah, there was this ambition, to create a place showcasing all these plants, encourage scientific exploration. It was pretty global, bringing the familiar and the exotic together.
That's so cool. But it wasn't all easy for the gardens, right?
Not exactly. Location, right?
What do you mean?
Well, they had a lot of challenges. The Sulphur River would flood, and the soil wasn't great.
Oh, so not ideal for growing delicate plants.
Not really, especially all the new species they were bringing in.
So what kinds of plants were they trying to grow?
A ton of variety. Stuff Jamaica had never seen before. They focused on plants with, medicinal properties, kind of like the hot springs, I guess.
Keeping that healing theme going.
Exactly. But they also had spices, fruits. Some of it even changed Jamaican agriculture and food.
Really?
Yeah, like some Asian citrus varieties. They had a huge impact on the island's fruit production.
So the gardens weren't just about looking pretty.
Oh, no. It was innovation, experimentation. But those challenges, they kept coming back. So in 1862, they moved a bunch of the trees to Castleton. They were setting up a new garden there.
So is that it for Bath's garden then?
Nope, not at all. They moved some, but Bath's garden kept going. Some of the trees, the unique ones, they're still there today.
Like those royal palms the article mentioned?
Exactly. Ancient fronds reaching for the sky.
Wow, what a sight.
It really makes you think, standing among those trees, they've seen it all. A real link to the past.
Okay, Bath is officially on my travel list.
You should go.
But back to the hot springs. Can people still, experience them today?
Oh, yeah. Bath might not be the same hotspot, but people still come for the healing waters. Locals and visitors.
That's great. So, like, if I was in Kingston, how do you even get to these legendary hot springs?
The article mentions a left turn at the entrance to the botanical gardens. Then it's a walk along the hillside, leads right to the Sulphur River.
Where the hot water flows?
Yep. And if you want the modern experience, there's the Bath Fountain Hotel and Spa.
Fancy.
They've got all kinds of therapeutic stuff.
So cool. I bet you can still smell that sulfur.
Oh, definitely. It's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Connects you right back to where it all began. When you're soaking in that warm water, it's hard not to think about Jacob and everything that came from his discovery.
It's true. Even facing such awful circumstances, sometimes these unexpected things happen. They can change everything.
Change history, create places where people find peace. And it just keeps going, for centuries.
Speaking of peace, what's Bath like for people who visit today? Is it still a bustling town?
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Jacob's discovery coming from such a difficult place, and it creates this whole legacy of healing.
Yeah, it's incredible. He was looking for refuge and ended up changing things for generations.
From runaway slave to like a social scene, and now people still find peace in those same waters. Centuries later.
It's really remarkable, the power of nature.
It's like this reminder, with all our fancy technology, we're still drawn to nature for healing and well-being.
I know, right? I can practically feel it. The warmth, the steam, all those stories in the air.
It's like stepping back in time, right? To a place where people have always sought out that same peace.
Exactly. And the fact that it all started with this one man's desperate search.
It really shows how powerful those connections can be, to nature, to healing, to something bigger than ourselves. And sometimes those unexpected discoveries, they can lead to big transformations.
Speaking of transformation, what's Bath like today? Like for people who visit now, has it kept that bustling energy?
Well, Bath today is definitely more, how do I say it? More relaxed.
It's not quite the social hub it used to be.
Right. Still draws people in for the healing waters, though. It's more of a place to unwind, connect with nature, soak up the history.
I bet that's a nice change of pace, compared to the city.
Oh, absolutely. The article talks about that feeling of tranquility. You can wander through those gardens, smell the flowers, or follow the path to the springs, look into the river.
Yeah, it sounds pretty magical.
It's a good place to reconnect with yourself, get back to nature.
I like that. So we've been on this incredible journey with Bath, from its unexpected beginnings to its lasting impact.
We've just scratched the surface, really. There's so much more to learn about Bath and all its wonders, both the history and the nature.
That makes you think, about what Jacob's story tells us, about humans and nature, about searching for healing.
Yeah. No matter how much we advance, we're still drawn to the earth, to what it can offer us. It's like nature holds a key to our well-being.
We started with this desperate search for relief, then this bustling town, a place where pirates hung out, and now it's this peaceful haven where people still find healing in the same waters.
Bath's story is really something. Resilience, unexpected discoveries, and the power of nature.
Absolutely. So listeners, next time you need a little solace, remember Bath. Remember Jacob. Remember this hidden oasis and everything it represents.
Maybe you'll even find yourself drawn to those healing waters someday.
Until then, keep diving deep.